Hi everyone, it's Melissa Stoller back for our final installment, Chapter 10 of the Enchanted Snow Globe collection, Return to Coney Island. I can't believe we're on Chapter 10 already. Here's Molly. She's coming to say hello and goodbye until next time. She enjoyed reading with you. So I'm going to put her down and we'll get right to the ending of our story. Chapter 10, Return to New York. In the blink of a moment, the twins stood on solid ground in Nana's living room in front of the giant curio cabinet. Emma held the Cyclone snow globe. Nana stood next to them, and Molly nuzzled Simon's hand. Belly rub time. Everything was back to the way it had been, except Emma was still carrying the small purse with the pad and pencil inside. You know, my parents bought the snow globe for me when I was a girl, said Nana. I sure loved to ride the Cyclone. The twins stared at each other and at Nana. She seemed to have no idea about the voyage they had just taken. Who's ready for apple crisp? Asked Nana. It's your great-grandmother Jessie's favorite recipe. When Nana walked away, Emma pulled out her pad and saw her notes about Jessie and Jack. It was real. It all did happen. The twins smiled and shook their heads as they raced into the kitchen. Ha, I won this time, said Simon, laughing. They were hungry and the dessert tasted delicious, as they knew it would. Ready for rummy, checkers, and backgammon, you two? Asked Nana, placing the games on the dining room table. And the ancestor photo collages. We sure are, said Simon. Emma nodded in agreement. They both yawned. It had been a long day. The twins' parents arrived the next day after lunch. How was the sleepover? Asked Dad. What did you do? Said Mom. Well, began Emma slowly, we did some research for our ancestor report about great-grandmother Jessie. We feel like we really connected with her. Now we need to visit the library to find books about Coney Island. Why don't we go to Coney Island right now? Asked Mom. You won't believe how huge the cyclone is and how fast it goes. I think we'll believe it all right, Emma said under her breath. Simon blinked and nodded. And I really want to play the skee ball game and eat some hot dogs, said Simon. How do you know that Coney Island has skee ball games? Asked Mom. Well, I just bet it would, that's all, said Simon, blushing. And you know, I'm really good at skee ball. Maybe I'll even win a prize. As their parents were talking to Nana, Emma and Simon ventured back into the living room to take one last look at the giant curio cabinet. Does Nana know anything about our adventure? Asked Simon. Emma paused. I don't think so, she said. Everything is the same as when we left. Just then, Simon noticed a snow globe way in the back. A train was suspended in the snow globe, and all around the train, snow particles were shaking and shimmering. He pointed at it, and Emma squinted and stood even closer to the cabinet. Are you thinking what I'm thinking? Asked Emma. Absolutely, said Simon. Could it be enchanted too, like the Coney Island snow globe? Before Emma could answer, Mom shouted, let's go, you two. They took one last look, but all they saw were regular snow globes sitting in a giant curio cabinet. As they hugged Nana goodbye and petted Molly, they wondered if an adventure on a train might be waiting for them. Can we do another sleepover next weekend? Begged Simon. Oh, yes, please, said Emma. Of course, said Nana, laughing. And in the meantime, go out and make good things happen. And that's the end of the first book in the Enchanted Snow Globe collection series. And I wanted to point out that I put in a picture of the real Jack and Jessie, my grandparents, who inspired me to write this story. And at the end of the story, in the next few pages, I include a discussion guide and a family book club guide. I include discussion questions, like the first one about time travel, and in 5 different questions. And then on the next few pages, I include the recipe of Jessie's and Nana's Easy Apple Crisp, that if you're going to do that project, make sure you have an adult with you to help you with the cooking. But it's really yummy. I love making apple crisps. It's my kids' favorite. And then I also have a craft project, a homemade snow globe project. So you can make your own snow globe with only a few different supplies. And again, that's a good project to do with an adult in your house. And I also have resources if you really enjoyed, the story, things that family connection projects like interviewing family members or writing a story based on your ancestors, taking a field trip to the place your parents or grandparents met or another place that's important, and a few more questions. And then I have some research online that you could do about snow globes, Coney Island, roller coasters, and trolleys. So there are lots of resources, and we'll be putting that up on the Clear Fork Publishing website. So you can have this whole chapter book discussion guide so that you can look into some of these too. And if you noticed at the very end, Emma and Simon saw a train snow globe glistening in the background. So the place that the twins are going to go next is going to be Philadelphia. The next book, book 2, is going to be called The Liberty Bell Train Ride, and it's going to take place in 1915. And the twins have to help save the Liberty Bell, which goes on an actual train ride from Philadelphia all the way to San Francisco in 1915. And along the way, they get to meet their great Aunt Lucy, and she helps them save the day. That'll be coming out soon, and I hope you'll enjoy it. But in the meantime, I have one more story idea for you to work on your own stories while you're home in the next time while we're all home and hopefully doing a lot of reading and writing. So you saw Molly, my Molly in person, and you saw Molly throughout the book. So maybe think about a pet that you might have, or a pet that you might want, or an imaginary pet, or a totally made up pet. Could be any kind of animal. Think about that kind of animal and maybe write a story featuring that animal. See what you come up with. I really hope that you've enjoyed listening to Return to Coney Island. I loved writing it, and I wrote the second one about the Liberty Bell. And also, I'm in the middle of writing the third story, which is going to take place at the Library of Congress in Washington, D.C. And guess what? Molly is going to be in those books as well. So you'll get to see some more of her. I hope you all enjoyed the series, and I hope you'll check out my website, or your parents or caregivers will check out my website, which is www.melissastoller.com, for curriculum guides and some coloring pages, which I know Clear Fork will also put up on the website, and for a peek about my other books. And I hope to see you really soon. Let me know in the comments or on my website if you enjoyed the book and about any writing. I'll definitely write back to you if you talk to me about your writing. So stay safe and healthy, and keep up your writing and reading. Thanks for joining me. Bye for now.